Do you guys remember, I think just a couple of days ago, I didn't specifically cover this or talk about this in any of my streams or videos because I just didn't think it was worth covering. However, there are some new stuff that's come out which I would very much like to talk about, which is about Assassin's Creed. Yeah, Assassin's Creed franchise boss decided to leave. There was an IGN article a couple of days ago about this whole thing, about, franchise boss of Assassin's Creed leaving the company after being in the company for I think 20 years or something, which was, kind of surprising for everybody. This is the article actually. Assassin's Creed franchise boss departs Ubisoft, and this was covered exclusively by IGN first because they got the scoop. Marc-Alexis Côté, I'm just gonna call him Marc. Marc has departed Ubisoft after a career spanning more than 20 years. News comes just 2 weeks after Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft's biggest brand, became operated by Vanguard Studios, a separate business entity formed by Ubisoft with a 25% stake from Chinese giant Tencent that will also now oversee all future Far Cry and Rainbow Six games. Let me give you some context around what that is. Tencent is this big giant Chinese publishing company, also a game developer, probably the largest out there at the moment according to 2025 article. Top 10 gaming companies by revenue in 2025. Sony is taking the lead in 2025, which is interesting. $31 billion. Just a little less than that is Tencent right behind them, and then you got Microsoft Game Studios, and then everybody else followed by that. So yeah, so they're big. They're pretty big. Yeah, so they literally own bits and pieces of pretty much everything, and now they own a little bit of Ubisoft as well, which is not surprising. Yeah, so what happened was, as you guys know, the Ubisoft have not been doing so hot with their latest releases, including Assassin's Creed, even Far Cry games. So they've been losing a lot of revenue left and right for a few years now, which is what led to this whole separate studio called Vanguard Studio being formed as a separate business entity, which is going to be overseeing Far Cry, Rainbow Six, and Assassin's Creed IPs, which will be a joint venture by Ubisoft and Tencent. And what it means is Tencent is putting pretty much a giant cash infusion into these IPs and have a stake on it moving forward. Vanguard Studio is being looked after by Ubisoft CEO's son, I believe, not because of nepotism or anything, which is a whole different story, which I will not get into right now. The whole thing was that, this guy Marc, who was Assassin's Creed franchise boss, left the business after 20 years of being there. This article and everything that was written in this article kind of made it sound like that it was his choice to move away from Ubisoft. He's got a nickname called Mac, so I'll just call him Mac. And as creative director, he made Assassin's Creed Black Flag, DLC Freedom Cry, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So yeah, some of these were great games. So he was in the team that made a lot of great Assassin's Creed games. This is his LinkedIn profile. It's confirmed. Indeed, has worked in all of these projects, which is cool. Eventually, all of this led to him being the boss, a franchise boss of Assassin's Creed. However, now he's gone. He has now posted this 1 day ago on his LinkedIn, which kind of contradicts what the IGN article had said about his departure from Ubisoft. Let's read on. From the messages of colleagues, friends, and fans, recurring theme has emerged that I feel the need to clarify. Many of you have expressed surprise that I would choose to leave Assassin's Creed after so many years, especially given this passion I still hold for it. The truth is simple. I did not make that choice. Ooh. Okay. Ubisoft decided to transfer the leadership of the Assassin's Creed franchise to someone closer to its new organizational structure, which is what we talked about just before, Vanguard Studio, which is being overseen by Ubisoft CEO's son because nepotism, and then somebody else. A different position was mentioned, but it did not carry the same scope, mandate, or continuity with the work I had been entrusted with in recent years. Fair, man. Dude's been in Assassin's Creed for so long, and he's been sort of integral part of what made Assassin's Creed, whether you like it or not. Assassin's Creed definitely has undergone so many changes over the years, starting with Assassin's Creed 3, moving on to, Origins and Odyssey. By Shadows, they've undergone so many changes. Whether you like it or not, he has been an integral part of the whole IP. The fact that they have asked him to step away from what he has a passion for and given him something that doesn't carry the same scope. If that happened to me, I would have walked away too. So that makes sense. I want to be clear that I hold no resentment. Ubisoft has been my home for all professional life, and I will always be grateful for the people, the projects, the belief that together we could create worlds that inspire millions. But also owe it to my teams, past and present. To say this plainly, I did not walk away. I stayed at my post until Ubisoft asked me to step aside. As someone who grew up inspired by Star Trek in the later years of my career, I came to see myself as the captain of the Assassin's Creed franchise. Someone who lives only once every soul on board is saved. And that is exactly what I have done for as long as I could. Thank you again for your message of support. That means more to me than you can imagine. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. I do not know what that means. If you know that, please let me know. Please let me know. That's the post that he did on LinkedIn. So it looks like he did not walk away from Ubisoft after all. He was kind of pushed out by Ubisoft. I know he said he was offered a position that just didn't match the stuff that he's been doing all this time. From what he's saying, it would have felt like kind of a demotion rather than a promotion to him. That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, I guess in a way they did kind of push him out. And it is unfortunate. Also means we could be, in a way, hopeful for the future of Assassin's Creed, but it could go either way now, right? It's the franchise post is no longer there for Assassin's Creed, which means it could go in a completely new direction, or it could just continue in the same way. I don't know. But then we do have a stake from Tencent as well now, which means Tencent is probably going to push a little more harder on the IP than Ubisoft has been doing to do well, because they now really need these IP to work together to actually have a return on that investment. Going forward, I think right now it kind of unclear who's filling the void left by Mark. I guess we'll get to know soon. By the time the next announcement for Assassin's Creed comes around, we'll probably get more details around what the hell is going on. Right now, it is kind of all up in the air, dude. It's all up in the air. We got Assassin's Creed Hexe coming out soon next year. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is apparently in the works. Not confirmed by Ubisoft, but it is a well-known secret in the industry right now. Everybody knows that it's been worked on. It's supposed to come out sometime this year. They might shadow drop it, or they might delay it and it's coming next year. I don't know, but it is coming. Hexe is supposed to come next year. Assassin's Creed Hexe, for those who has no idea what I'm talking about, is the next Assassin's Creed main entry to the Assassin's Creed franchise. So after Shadows. It's not like a half entry like Mirage was. It is the next mainline entry to Assassin's Creed franchise, which has been worked on by the same team who worked on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and it's gonna have like a darker, grittier tone than what we have seen in Assassin's Creed so far, which is interesting. And it is the main focus of it is gonna be, the witch trials and all that, which is kind of weird for an Assassin's Creed game, not gonna lie, but I'm keen to see what they're gonna come up with. We haven't seen anything other than just a logo trailer, which is like 30 seconds or something. Literally have not seen anything else, and I know so many people are keen to see what the hell they're up to. They even dropped something like cryptic post. Let me see if I can find that for you. It was like a tiny snippet of some cryptic guy standing in like a dungeon or something, and it had lit up pumpkins here and there. It kind of had a Halloween theme. couldn't figure out what it was, and I checked the comment section and it just didn't show it. Nobody could understand what it was. Some people were saying that it's something to do with like a Hexe announcement coming or something. It was like a little teaser video with no information attached to it, no context whatsoever. So they're cooking up something, and it could be announced soon. It could be Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I don't know, but hopefully we might be hearing something from Ubisoft soon about what's coming next for Assassin's Creed, which will be great. But yeah, this is what's going on with Ubisoft right now, man. With this whole franchise boss leaving and with the restructure. Vanguard Studios is now in charge of these big IPs, biggest IPs of Ubisoft, and what's going to happen with these IPs with now Tencent having a stake in it, it's all up in the air. We're not going to know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this whole situation. I would love to know your thoughts, and I would love to talk about it. Hopefully this is going to force the company to take a turn for the better, and for these IPs to do better than they've been doing in the past few years, because these are some of the greatest IPs of gaming industry. Whether you like it or not, it's just been handled quite badly, you know. Assassin's Creed was a great franchise, great concept. Even with the modern day story, I wish they make a return. They sort of ditch those modern day storylines in favor of, you know, open world exploration and history simulator kind of thing. And yeah, I wish they do. And in Assassin's Creed Shadows, they're barely there, you know. But the modern day storyline is barely there. It was almost non-existent. So hopefully they make a return, and that would please some of the fans, most fans, I hope. But I do know there are some fans who don't care about that stuff, which is fine. Same with Far Cry. Far Cry 3 was amazing. Far Cry 2 was also good, underrated. Far Cry is one of those IPs that could have, you know, great iconic villains, but they just didn't do enough with this IP. So hopefully we'll see some much needed changes happening going forward.